you doing today? It is Saturday. I know, it's Saturday. Saturday, March 27th, 2021. And I've fallen off of the daily video bandwagon. I actually feel like I'm out of practice. But, yeah, so this has been an extremely busy week for me. And not even with work or anything, just like in life in general. And so I didn't film most of the week. Actually, I think, when was it? Monday was the last time I filmed, or was it even Sunday? I don't even remember when the last time I filmed. I think it was Monday. Anyways, so I had an extremely busy week with just life. I had a church meeting that went, I had a really long church meeting one night. And so I had that. I had to drop my car off at the dealership to get an oil change and some service done with that. Nothing major, just regular maintenance. And so that was like balancing friends taking me to and from work for a day. And then so I had a couple happy hours this week. And just kind of life is starting to, I went jogging. Did I say that? I think I said that in one of my videos before I filmed. So the weather's starting to get nice. So it's just one of those things where life happened. And so with that, I also haven't stitched. I've done some knitting, but I also haven't stitched at all. No stitching whatsoever. So yeah. Therefore, I do have some progress to show you, but I don't really have any stitching. I have not stitched all week. And part of that is I've been going to bed early. Part of that is I just haven't wanted to stitch. So, but I do have lots of knitting to show you. First off, I want to show you a new, let's go ahead and get right on into it. First off, I want to show you I finished, I remember I had that dishcloth that I started. This is using, and I wanted to show you the pattern. This is using the super simple, and this is whenever I was having ink issues with my printer. The super simple diamond dishcloth by Louise Patterson of Wildflower Wool. So you can find this on Ravelry. It's the super simple diamond dishcloth. I'm not sure if it's free or not, so you're going to have to go and check that out. So that is what this is. It is a very, very easy to follow pattern. I basically have it memorized now, and this is the pattern, and there it is. Did you see how that color, that's like craziness. So this is using Dishy worsted weight cotton. I was going to say sock yarn, but it's not sock yarn because it's worsted weight cotton. And this is Knit Picks, and this is in the color blue. Shocking. So there we go. That is the color, and I still have a lot left. This is dishcloth number 2. Here's dishcloth number 1. So I have 2 dishcloths, 2 different styles of dishcloths. I'm still going to be able to get another dishcloth out of that one. And yeah, so 2 dishcloths out of that. I still have one, a good skein left. Good chunk of skein left to go. So that is that progress. Then, if you remember, I am working on my sweater that I started last week, I think. And this is the drops from garnstudio.com. I think I downloaded this from yarn.com, and it's the Twilight. I believe it's a free pattern. It's Twilight, and it's drops number 135-39. And I'm using Holst Garn Aconite, and it's Holst Garn Coast. And I'm using 2 strands because to get gauge you have to use 2 strands. This is so I have 2 cones of the Aconite in Coast. Coast is a wool cotton blend, which I really like the drape of. So here is the cones. That's the color that that it is. Kind of sad to be using it because it's a lovely decoration in my home, but you buy yarn to use, not as a decoration. And here is my progress. So I have I've been knitting away at this a little bit in the mornings before work and in the evenings after I'm done working on the socks, and because this is simple, just stockinette stitch. So stockinette stitch is just knit stitch round and round and round, and there is my progress. So I have the ribbing done, and now I'm just working on stockinette stitch. This is knit in the round, and I have, I think 4.5 inches done of the whole sweater. So it's coming along nicely. And that's a really good color representation of what it will look like when it's done. So it looks, you can tell, you can see through the fabric and everything. It looks sparse and thin now. When it washes, because of the way Holst Garn does their yarn, they send it still with the spinning oils and everything in it, so it hasn't bloomed or fluffed up yet. So once this washes, all that spinning oil will come out of the yarn, and this will fluff up and fill up a lot of those gaps and everything. It still might be a little gappy, which is fine because this is going to be a nice lightweight sweater that I could wear over a button-down shirt or a long sleeve t-shirt or something, and it'll be a nice spring and fall sweater for work or even winter, because in the winter my office gets pretty warm, but in the fall or in the spring and spring and fall it also gets cold because they've already had the air conditioning on. So it's looking really nice. So there we go. Then we go into Sockapalooza. So first up, I have sock number 1, which I showed you last week. This is just a basic toe up sock. I am using a Knit Picks, and I do believe this is a Hawthorne. Now that I looked at it online, I do believe this is a Hawthorne. It's just a Hawthorne kettle dye, even though it's different Hawthorne than I typically am used to. It's a very, very soft, but again, I could be completely wrong and just lying to you altogether. But this is the cake that I'm using. I don't have the skein band anymore to tell, because I caked this like 3 years ago. So that is what it looks like. This is just a super basic toe up sock that I'm doing. This is on a ChowGoo US 1.5 9-inch circular needle. There's the ChowGoo needle, US 1.5. Again, it's the rounded toe that I use, and the rounded toe that I use is the free rounded toe recipe by Lynn Ashton that you can get on Ravelry. So just type in rounded toe for toe up sock, and I follow that. And this is what I do. I start with DPNs, and then I work up to the then I just put it on my circular, and then I will do the German short row heel. So here is where I'm at to so far. Not a whole lot of progress since last time I showed you because I have more socks coming. So just slowly working on this. This is super soft. I really like this yarn. Not really my color style, but I do like this sock. Sock number 1. Then sock number 2, which I showed you last week, was my Peyton's Croy sock yarn. And this is in the color Gray Brown Marl. And I've been working on this a little bit more than that last one. Again, it's the same exact sock recipe. So it's the rounded toe sock that I prefer, that I start with the DPNs. This is the exact same size ChiaoGoo circular, US 1.5. This is a slightly larger. The other one was a 64 stitches. This is 68 stitches because it's for a slightly larger foot. And here is my progress so far on this one. And for Peyton's Croy, this is a little bit softer than I'm used to. This yarn is definitely softer than typical Peyton's Croy that I'm used to. So it's kind of nice to work with. Not kind of, it's nice to work with. So again, I have 2 balls. So this will be the second sock. But I can't cast on the second sock because I only have 2 US 1.5 circular needles and I'm using them both. But that's quite all right because I have plenty of socks on the go at the moment. Then finally, I cast on the third sock. So I was randomly doing a Google, was it a Google? A Ravelry search, was it Wednesday night? I think it was Wednesday night during my church Zoom meeting. And I found this free diagonal lace sock. It's a diagonal lace sock. It's a toe-up sock pattern. And this is by I don't know because they don't have their name on the pattern. But I will link it in the information section below if you're interested in it. But it is a free pattern on a blog or website or whatever it is. And so I decided I'm going to do this. Now this one's going to take a lot longer for me to do because it is a lace pattern. And that's perfectly fine because I'm also going to do it for my foot, which is, you know, compared to other people's feet, it's gargantuan. So this is a toe-up sock. Now I have done a little bit of accommodations to the pattern just because this one has much more of a squared off toe. And we all, like I just talked about with the other ones, I prefer the more rounded toe. So I made accommodations for the rounded toe and made it use that Lynn Ashton rounded toe pattern. And so I pulled out yarn from my stash because I'm trying to use up all my yarn that I have lingering around. So I pulled out the Worthington sock yarn from Valley Yarns. And this, I believe, is called Chocolate. But it's a nice deep brown. I don't know where, yeah, it's just not, you can see it up in here really well. So it's a nice rich brown color. And so I knit the toe, I started the pattern, realized that after I started the pattern and I did one pattern repeat, I did the pattern wrong. I was going to leave it alone. then the next day I just couldn't handle leaving it alone, so I ripped the pattern out, and I had to rip back 6 rows, and then I reknit it. So I've had the tink back. Tink means tink is knit backwards, K-N-I-T, tink. So I tinked backwards 6 rows, which took about a half hour, 40 minutes, and then I redid it. So here is, and it's not going to show up very well. Here is my progress. And of all things, this is the only one that doesn't show up very well. There we go. It's a little bit better. So again, it's a rounded toe and the pattern, and then this is the lace pattern. So it's lace on the top, stockinette on the bottom. Maybe if I just get super close, you'll be able to see it better. Or not. Now, this is on a US 0, which I'm kind of hesitant about, because normally I like my socks on a US 1, but this is a US 0 or a 2.0 millimeter. This again is a Chalgu 9-inch circular. I have knit with US 0s before. They are just a little bit tight on my feet, but it is a lace pattern, and it's a little bit more stitches per row than I have knit in the past. So I'm giving it a go, hoping it will fit my feet well. My other US 0 socks do fit my feet. They're just really snug. And it takes a little bit of effort to get it up over my heel. But there is my sock. So I have two cakes. Not sure if I'm going to need both cakes because, oh, there's a really good color. You can see the color well. So I have 2 cakes for the pair of socks. Not sure if I'm going to need both cakes, or because I'm not sure how high up the foot or how high up the leg they're going to go, but that is my goal for that. This is not a like high priority pair of socks, but I wanted to go ahead and cast them on because I have the needles, and I had the interest in casting on a toe, because the toe is the most fiddly part and the least enjoyable part of knitting for me, of the toe of socks. So if I have the energy and the bandwidth to go ahead and knit the toe, I'm going to go ahead and knit the toe and then have them ready to go, and I can pick them up and knit on whenever I want to knit on the socks. So that is all the progress I have to show for you all today. I do have one thing that I got in the mail this week, and that was a gift, a kindness. So I want to show that and say thank you very much. I didn't ask permission to share their name, so they know who they are, and I really do appreciate it. But I want to say thank you, and I received this book in the mail, and it's Natural Dyeing with Plants, and unfortunately I have not had a chance to really look through it in detail, but it is super exciting, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun to look through and possibly dye some linen or yarns, maybe even for knitting or stitching. So I'm really, really excited to look through. I love this yellow linen right there. So very, very, very excited to get this book. It's a lovely thick book with lots of great pictures and ways to dye different with natural ingredients. So super excited about that. Not sure if I can access all of the different sources from around here where I live, but you never know. Apparently, carrot dyes yellow. So, there we go. Thank you very much. I really do appreciate it. So that is something I got in the mail this week. So that is all I have for all of you today. I hope you are all well. I hope you are crafting up a storm if you have the time and the energy. If you are in a area where the weather is starting to improve and you are able to get outside and enjoy it, I hope you are doing that and enjoying the weather. I am hopefully going to get outside and enjoy it today. Maybe go and do some jogging. I have some plants out on the balcony right now enjoying the weather as well. Hopefully doing a little bit of energizing themselves. Some of my plants are doing a great, really getting close to budding and blooming here. So hopefully we'll have some new blooms and buds to show and share with you here in the near future. Really excited about a few of them, which I've never seen bloom before. So until I see you again, I hope you all have a great day. Happy crafting, happy stitching, exude that kindness, and as always, don't forget to always be creative.